Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to my Premier League 2016-17 predictions. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and hate on my predictions, just leave a comment in the comment section below telling me that I'm a cunt and that I'm an idiot. It's probably going to happen anyway. Just keep in mind that this isn't how the Premier League is going to end. These are just my predictions. So if your team isn't where you'll want it to be, they're probably not going to finish there because I'm an idiot anyway. Also keep in mind that this is before the transfer window ends, so many things could change. I'm going to be doing these in sections. Also, I want to keep this video short. I'm not going to be going in depth with every single team, or actually I'm not going to be going in depth with any team, but I'll give you a short little description as to why I think they'll finish where they finish. If you want to leave your predictions in the comment section below, go ahead and do so. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. And last but not least, I do have a fantasy Premier League going on at the moment. Well, it'll be going on when the league starts. So if you want to join that, I'll leave a link in the description. That's an auto join link, and pretty much you'll just click it and it'll join you into my league. You just have to make a team and log in and it'll do it for you, so you don't have to go and enter the code and stuff like that. So click the link in the description if you want to be in my fantasy Premier League. There's a lot of people there already and it'd be great to have more people in there. I might also do a giveaway at the end of it as well, so yeah, join that if you want, if you think you're good enough. Right, so going in sections, I'm going to go with the relegation zone first. I'm going to put Hull City in 20th, Bournemouth in 19th, and Watford in 18th. Hull City, I think everybody's going to think that they're going to finish 20th. Bournemouth, they could go either way. I feel like they could do really well or really bad. I just think that there's better teams above them. And Watford is the big one. They've kept both Igalo and Deeney so far, but without Quique Sanchez-Flores, I don't know how they're going to do under their new manager. Alright, teams that could be potentially around the relegation zone, I've put Burnley in 17th, Palace in 16th, Middlesbrough in 15th, West Brom in 14th, and Sunderland in 13th. Burnley, I don't know where their goals are going to come from, despite being tied for the highest scoring team in the championship. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to score goals as easy as they did in the championship, but I rate Sean Dyche and I rate their defensive work. Crystal Palace, I think after the end of last season, could continue that form. Pardew is past his, as True Geordie say, the honeymoon period. The shittiness of Pardew, I think, is really starting to hit Crystal Palace. Middlesbrough, I've put in 15th because I think they have goals in them and I really rate their transfers. They're going to have Brad Guzan or Victor Valdez in between the sticks. Personally, I'd go with Brad Guzan because of his Premier League experience. They also have Badagan, who I think is a really good signing, and also Negredo. I put West Brom in 14th because Tony Pulis can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to get relegated. They're defensively very solid, and I think they're going to be fine as they have been over the past several seasons. And Sunderland, I've put in 13th, way above where a lot of people would put them. You know, they've always fought with that relegation zone, but I think with David Moyes, a very good appointment. If he could make a few more transfers toward this transfer window ending, I think he can do really well. He does so well at bringing the best out of average players, and Sunderland is full of average players, so I think they're going to do really well this season. I genuinely think they'll be pretty comfortable. Right, now we're going to get into the mid-table, the teams that will do okay. You know, they're not going to be near the relegation zone, but they're also not going to be challenging the top 8, and that includes Swansea at 12, Southampton at 11, Stoke at 10, and Everton at 9. I put Swansea at 12 just because I don't know how they're going to do. They're a very wild card team, Swansea. They've lost Gomes, but they've replaced him with Llorente. They like playing with big strikers. They've got Sigurdsson, who's a beast, just a certified beast. I put Southampton at 11 because once again, Southampton have to rebuild after losing a couple of their good players, Pele and Sadio Mane. They have a new manager. They've lost Ronald Koeman. They've had to deal with that before. They lost Pochettino. So you would argue that they know how to do this, to rebuild. It's going to be tough again, and I think Southampton will probably have a very average season. Stoke City are always mid-table, so I've just put them in 10th because they're always mid-table. They have a very well-balanced team. They have size, they have strength, they have pace, they have a technical ability, and they have the ability to score goals. I think they've got everything in their team, and they'll be a pretty tough team to break down this season, and I'm going to give them 10. I put Everton in 9th. Now, Everton have got Ronald Koeman, who I do rate, but their transfer window has been very, very anonymous. I mean, they brought in Idris Gueye from Aston Villa, but I don't know how he's going to do in that Everton side. I think Koeman's going to be able to rejuvenate a lot of the players that were missing under Roberto Martinez, because I feel like a lot of them didn't want to play for Martinez anymore. So I think he's going to do really well with the players that were kind of missing last season. Now going into the top 8, I'm going to split it up in 2 different sections. Teams that could challenge for top 4, but I don't think will be there at the end of the season, and teams that definitely, I think, will be there at the end of the season near top 4. So pretty much the section where I think they could challenge for top 4, but they're not going to be there at the end of the season, is Leicester at 8th, West Ham at 7th, and Liverpool at 6th. I put Leicester at 8th because I feel like with the more fixtures and Champions League football and travelling, Leicester might struggle. They also are the defending Premier League champions, and historically, especially over the past 5 years, that is not a good title to have. You do not want to be the Premier League champs because usually that means you're going to absolutely capitulate. I don't think that's going to happen with Leicester. Not as bad as what happened with United and Chelsea. Even though I think they're going to go from 1st to 8th, I still don't think it's going to be that big of a drop as far as their actual ability on the pitch. Whereas with United and Chelsea, they were playing poor. I think Leicester's still going to be playing good football. They don't have Kante though, and I think that's a major loss. I think that's a bigger loss than either Mahrez or Vardy if they were to go. I think Kante is their biggest loss, and I'm very interested to see how they replace him. Mendy looks good. Not sure if he's at Kante's level just yet, but we'll have to wait and see. I put West Ham at 7th, and I don't know why I have. You know, I thought West Ham, I'd put them a little bit lower than 7th, but with a new stadium and with keeping Dimitri Payet and a very good transfer window, the likes of Sofiane Feghouli and Gökhan Toure coming in. They've also brought in Hartwig Nordtveit, who is a very good reader of the game, very good mentally, and Slaven Bilic is now into his 2nd season and understands the Premier League more. So I feel like West Ham are going to be pretty comfortable with a new stadium. It's going to be very atmospheric, and I think West Ham are going to do, I think they're actually really going to thrive this season. In a 6th, I put Liverpool, simply for the fact that their transfer window's been okay. I mean, they brought in Mane and Wijnaldum, all right signings. You know, I think Wijnaldum's going to be a squad player. I think Mane has a chance to start. Obviously, they have Jurgen Klopp, who I think is a fantastic manager, and they don't have European football, so that could affect them. I think they could be a little bit higher. I wanted to put them in the next section where they'll be at the top 4 at the end of the season, because I think Liverpool will be around the top 4 at the end of the season, but I think right at the end, they won't have a chance of making top 4. But with no Europe, and with Jurgen Klopp, and with a decent core of players, I think they could do something this season. Right, here we go. Business end of things. Teams that will be there in the top 4, or around about the top 4, because there's a 5th team at the end of the season. In at 5, I've put Arsenal. Now, go ahead and tell me I'm a cunt in the comment section below. For me, with Arsenal, it comes down to their signings and their transfer window. They brought in Granit Xhaka, who's a fantastic player, but in my opinion, they didn't need him, because if I was lining up with a 4-2-3-1 with who Arsenal have right now, my 2, which is where you'd expect Granit Xhaka to play, would be Francis Coquelin and Santi Cazorla. I don't want to push Cazorla out to the left. He's not effective there. I want to keep him central. He's been an absolute magician in central midfield, and you need Francis Coquelin. So I'm not sure where Granit Xhaka comes into this. Is he going to replace Santi Cazorla in central midfield? Personally, I'd have Santi Cazorla with his experience in not only the Premier League, but in football in general, being a little bit older than Xhaka. I would have Santi Cazorla, so I don't know where Xhaka plays. And also, they need a striker and a centre-back, and they haven't addressed either of those. Who knows, Arsene Wenger might have something in the next couple of weeks in the transfer window, but also, going on last season's transfer window, he's very happy to only sign 1 player. In at number 4, I've put Tottenham. Simply because Pochettino is now in his 3rd season, he's understanding the Premier League, they've kept their core players. They've kept Kane, they've kept Eriksen, they've kept Lamela, who was good last season. They've kept Dyer and Dele Alli, both great last season. Their centre-back partnership, I think, is among the best in the Premier League. I think their entire back 4 is very solid, and they have a world-class keeper in between the sticks. There's nothing about this Tottenham team that makes me think that they're not going to make top 4. A lot of people saying that they're going to come 5th, 6th, and all that. I don't think Tottenham are going to be outside the top 4. I think with the team that they have, they can't do much worse than last season. They've only improved. They've brought in 2 pretty savvy signings in Wanyama and Janssen. I think both are very good players. Probably squad players, probably a little bit of depth for Europe, but I think very good players nonetheless. In at number 3, I've put Manchester City. Now, a lot of people I think are tipping City to win the league. I've put them in 3rd because I think the 3 or even the 4 is going to be very close, but I think this top 3 is going to be super duper tight. I've put City in 3rd because I think Pep might adjust to the Premier League a little bit worse than other managers. I think because he's so used to expansive, free-flowing football, he might have a bit of a culture shock when he moves to the Premier League and starts playing with his team. That being said, he has some amazing players in his team. Kevin De Bruyne, Sergio Aguero, David Silva, Ilkay Gundogan. It just depends on if they can all stay fit, including Vincent Kompany. You know, Aguero and Kompany over the past couple seasons have had consistent injuries, and I don't know how they're going to do this season with the injuries. Also, Ilkay Gundogan, very injury prone. Is he going to be fit throughout the entire season? That's going to make a big difference on where Manchester City end up this season. In at number 2, I have put Manchester United. I don't know why this top 3 was very difficult. It was different when I first made this table, and then I adjusted a little bit, and I put United in second. They were first when I first made this table. Even though now I know that Paul Pogba was confirmed, I am recording this when Pogba was just confirmed. I still think we're going to come second. Mourinho knows the Premier League though. That's why I think he's going to do better than Pep Guardiola. He's managed here 2 separate occasions, back when he was managing Chelsea, and again last season when he was managing Chelsea. Yes, it kind of crumbled for him, and I'm not sure why. We'll see how he goes with Manchester United. He's kind of like a ticking time bomb, but right now everything looks good. We're kind of in the phase of Mourinho's new to the club. We all love him. Hopefully it stays like that. Also, I think our signings have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't think we've made one bad signing with the 4 that we've made so far. Paul Pogba, world class. Not the best central midfielder in the world, but absolutely world class. And give him a couple seasons and he will be the best midfielder in the world. We brought in Ibrahimovic, who a lot of people thought would be a little bit like Bastian Schweinsteiger, bringing him in as sort of a locker room player to kind of guide the younger players. I don't think so. I think he's the starting striker. He's got the number 9 on his back. He's been playing striker in the preseason. I think he's our main man up top, and I wouldn't have it any other way. He doesn't need his pace. He's an absolute maestro, with and without the ball at his feet. Number 3 was Eric Bailly, a player I didn't know what to expect from him. He's a very good centre-back. He got the man of the match in the Community Shield because his reckless decisions paid off. But there's going to be times when they don't pay off and he's going to cost us goals. So with Eric Bailly, I'm not really sure. He's very good. He has the capability, but mentally, I feel like he's not there yet as a good centre-back. I think he needs a couple seasons to really develop mentally. Same way that we wanted Chris Smalling to develop mentally. Because physically, Smalling had it, but mentally he didn't. And over the past couple seasons, he's developed extremely well. Hopefully the same thing happens with Bailly. He's got the pace, he's got the strength, and he definitely has the ability and the potential. We'll see how he develops. But most excitedly, and the player I think will have the most impact on our team, is Henrik Mkhitaryan. I think this guy is going to be an absolute beast this season for Manchester United, and I think all 4 signings are going to do very, very well. I have no reason to believe that either of those 4 signings will not do well. And then in at number 1, I put Chelsea. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because the same arguments I made against Pep Guardiola, you can make against Conte. You know, new to the Premier League, Juventus kind of dominated Serie A, then he went on to manage Italy, so I don't know, like, you could make the same arguments, but with me, I think the way Conte lines up defensively, bit of counter-attack in his game, I think that suits the Premier League more than Pep Guardiola's expansive passing. I don't know, it could go either way. Conte could either do really well or really badly. He's got really good, in my opinion, very good tactical manager, so that's why I've put him at number 1 with Chelsea, with no European football. Keep that in mind, no European football. And with N'Golo Kante, who I think is a fantastic signing, along with Michy Batshuayi, I think Chelsea are going to win the league. I don't know how many people are tipping Chelsea to win the league, but I am. I mean, you could say everything's going to be close. I think the top 3 is going to be very tight. I think the top 5 is going to be very tight. I think even the top 8 is going to be very tight. So I can't wait to get into this Premier League, guys. As I said at the start of the video, leave your predictions in the comment section below. I tried to make this as short as possible, but also give you guys reasoning as to where I put everybody and why I put them there. So one more reminder, Fantasy Premier League, check out the link in the description down below. But I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.